Hello, guys. It is me, Sunoco Guy Fan 91 here, and right now we are gonna be making a rant video today. Today we are gonna be making a rant video about school and why school is awful. Okay, just to let you know, I'm just gonna be explaining stuff in this video too, so it's not gonna be like an extreme rant or an extreme mega killer rant because it's kind of too late to be filming that. Hey, it's like 9:04. It's just gonna be a normal casual rant. So anyways, let's begin, okay? Let's get started. Okay, school. What is honestly so bad about school? Well, let's talk about how we have to be forced to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Then basically we have to leave for school at like 6:40 in the morning because school starts at like the crack of dawn. And basically we have to leave so early for school. Like, what the heck? Like, that's ridiculous. And what's even worse is that you have to have breakfast and you have very little time to get ready for school in the morning. Like, they only give you like 10 or 15 minutes to get ready for school, and then afterwards you're kicked out of the door, like you're kicked out, like you're slapped out of the house. You go on the bus or take the van, or I don't know, walk however you get to school, and then you have to be there for like 7 to 8 hours a day in a classroom, and you have to sit there being bored out of your mind, which that is just so terrible. And it's like awful too because basically, like, what's the point? Because there's really no point because, yeah, you just gotta sit in a class. Before we get on to the next segment of the video, I want to see if we're still recording. So it looks like we're still recording, so that's good. Okay, what's another segment about school that I want to talk about? Let's talk about the teachers, okay? Some of the teachers can either be really nice, really good, awful, bad, or terrible. And basically, the teachers I used to have back in high school before I graduated, some of them were cool, some of them were okay, but there was one teacher that was awful. One teacher. And you want to know who that teacher was? It was my old math teacher, of course. My old math teacher. But you're asking, Sunoco Guy Fan 91, what is so bad about your math teacher? Well, let's explain, okay? She gives too much homework, okay? She gives too much homework, okay? Like, she gives homework about things I'm not gonna really use in the real world, and she's gonna give so much work that I wouldn't even need in the real world. Like, hold on. Just let me search up what you learn in school. Like, basically, we had to learn. Back when I was in school, we basically had to learn about this algebra stuff. Like, how is this gonna help me in life? How is this going to help me in life? Like, I don't even know any of that. Like, bro, I don't even know any of that. It is even crazier because I was in like the worst algebra class ever. And basically, like, I didn't even understand the algebra. And even worse, my teacher gave me that for homework, and I had to suffer. And suffer because the math was so awful. Like, it was so awful. I'm glad I graduated. They need to ban this from the school system. Like, they need to ban this from the school system because we're not going to really use this in the real world. So, yeah. Anyways, besides that, we're going to change topics, and now we're going to be talking about the popular kids. Oh my gosh, the popular kids. And you want to know what popular kids we're talking about? We are talking about cheerleaders, jocks, and just popular kids in general. Okay? Like, we're talking about the popular kids, of course, the popular prep kids. You're asking, Sunoco Guy Fan 91, what is wrong with the popular prep kids? Well, I'm just gonna explain, okay? The popular prep kids and the cheerleaders, jocks, etc., they're mean and rude to everyone else. They don't even care about everyone else. And since, I had a bad encounter with cheerleaders back when I used to go to high school, some of the cheerleaders thought that I was weird and stuff. And what's even more weird, is that, some of the cheerleaders were being mean to me. Like, most of the cheerleaders were being mean to me. And, they weren't even nice to me. Crazy, am I right? Like, they were mean and rude to me. And even worse is that they're popular kids. Like, they're so awful. Like, you know how awful they are? Really awful. Like, really awful. And don't even get me started with the jocks. Like, you know, I know what I'm showing is basically the jocks from High School Musical, but we're going to talk about the jocks. The jocks are also bad too, okay? The jocks could either be football players, basketball players, and they're bad too because they're just like the cheerleaders, but they're guys. Like, what the heck? And besides that, they're mean and rude to everyone else because, oh yeah, popularity. Boo, that sucks. High school popularity means nothing. And even the truth is that high school popularity means nothing. Like, high school popularity means nothing in the real world. Like, it means nothing. And basically, with the high school popularity, it's like, you're not going to need that in life. And then with these cheerleaders and jocks and popular kids, they are bad as heck. And even with the cheerleaders, like, go back to the cheerleaders, they're like one of the most prettiest girls that you're ever going to see at high school. But the real truth is they're not pretty. They're mean and rude to everyone else. They're ugly. They're ugly towards other people. Like, they're ugly towards other people. They're not ugly on, like, the outside, but they're ugly on the inside because they're mean and rude to everyone else. And the reality about cheerleaders, jocks, and popular kids is that they're mean and rude to everyone. They don't even care. They're mean and rude to everyone else, like me. Okay, guys, I'm gonna tell you a story about my high school experience. So yeah, back when I was in high school, I graduated this year. So I'm a class graduate of 2023. Like, I'm a class graduate of 2023. But recently, I'm fresh out of high school. I just graduated from high school. But let me tell you something, okay? Back during my senior year of high school, I was an outcast back in high school, okay? Like, back when I was a senior in high school, I was an outcast, okay? Almost nobody in the school liked me. Basically, the high school I went to was a popular kids' high school, or I went to a popular preppy kids' high school, which basically, that was awful because I went to a popular preppy kids' high school. And it's like crazy because, I was an outcast in high school. Almost nobody liked me except for maybe 2 to 3% of people. Maybe anywhere between 1 to 3% of people liked me at my old high school, but most of the school didn't even like me. They hated me. Like, they didn't even like me at all. And it's like, they don't even like me because they think, oh, Sunoco Guy Fan 91 is stupid or something. Like, the truth is, I'm not stupid. I'm smart, okay? The thing is, I'm not even popular, okay? I'm not even preppy either. I'm just a normal guy who makes videos. Like, okay? But back to what I was trying to say, okay? How long have I been recording for? Okay, I've been recording for like 9 minutes now. Okay. But yeah. Back to what I was trying to say, okay? So basically, I was only liked by only 1 to 3% of my old high school, and then everyone thought I was an outcast because everyone's a popular preppy kid. They're causing trouble every day, 24/7. We have stupid kids vaping in the bathrooms and I don't know, doing drugs when they're not even supposed to. The school barely even cares about the people doing vapes and drugs because basically my school or old high school was lazy. They didn't even give a crap because, you know, they don't even give a crap because, oh, it's a popular kids school. So popular kids can get away with anything. But then people like me, so, which were considered to be outcasts or unpopular people, basically we all get in trouble for the dumbest crap imaginable. Like back during my senior year when I was trying to survive in high school, I literally had to bring coffee to school every day or almost every single day to school. Like I would normally wake up, get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee right out of the refrigerator. Then I would walk into school with my Dunkin' Donuts coffee right fresh out of the refrigerator. I would have it in school. And then what's even worse is that back in my old high school, you know, there would be this stupid rule called the 727 rule. You guys may be asking, yo, Sunoco Guy Fan 91, what on earth is the 727 rule? Okay, the 727 rule is some stupid made up rule according to the school's logic. It's that at 727 or after 727, you're not even allowed to have outside beverages outside of school. Like you're not even allowed to have outside of school beverages in school. Like that was the rule back in my old high school. And if you were caught with Dunkin' Donuts coffee, soda, or anything else that is not water, anything else that is not water, like coffee, soda, etc., that's not water. I mean, Gatorade's okay, but anything that's like not water or Gatorade or anything healthy, guess what? It gets confiscated because it's 7:27 when school starts. I mean, my school, like my old high school, started at 7:27 a.m. Like 7:27 a.m. was when my high school started. And then basically, school started at 7:27 and, basically they'll take your drink away and they'll throw it away. And here's a story, okay? This is a true story. One time, I didn't want to listen to the 7:27 rule because I think the 7:27 rule is so stupid that basically, I brought coffee into school. I snuck it in my bag. Basically, after I snuck it in my bag, I carried my coffee around all school day until nearly lunchtime. But then, let's say one of my formal teachers got mad at me, and let's say one of them threatened to written me up. Like, one of them threatened to written me up. Like, they threatened to write me up all because of coffee. Crazy. Am I right? Like, that's stupid. Getting written up because of Dunkin' Donuts coffee, like getting written up because of coffee. Oh, that's so stupid. Like, that is such the most stupidest and dumbest rule ever imaginable. Like, bruh. Like, that is so stupid. Besides that, let's go back to talking about the vapors and the people who use drugs at my school. So there's really bad people who vape in the restrooms and they do drugs and stuff. And then my school doesn't even care to catch the bad people because guess what? They don't care because it's a popular preppy kids high school. And every time when I have to go into the restroom, I would have to cover my mouth and nose because I would suffocate in there from the vapes and all the bad smell. And I had to go in, quickly use the restroom, and run out of there. Like, I had to speed out of that restroom faster than, like, SpongeBob. Crazy, am I right? Like, I had to go really fast, and we would go, ew, out of the restroom. Because of, yeah, all the drugs and vapes at my old high school because of how bad it was. Besides that, that's all I can say about that. Anyways, let's change the subject of what I have to say. Anything else I forgot to mention on this rant? Let me see. Anything else I forgot to mention? Let's see. Oh, let's talk about lunchtime. Oh, yes. Lunchtime. Oh, yes. Let's talk about lunchtime and how awful my lunchtimes were in 12th grade, okay? Let's see. Lunchtime in 12th grade was awful. I mean, sometimes it was good, but mostly it was awful because the popular and the preppy kids were there and they would cause trouble almost every single lunch. And what's even worse is that the principal or the administration don't even care. Like, that's just crazy. Like, that's just crazy. And I know, kind of sad, am I right? And with these popular preppy kids, oh, they actually like tons of stuff because knowing them, most popular preppy kids like, they like their Lululemon because, they like their Lululemon because, oh, yes, yes, Lululemon, popular preppy kid brand, yes. That's the brand the popular kids like. It's Lululemon. It's the high school brand, Lululemon. The whole popular kids at my old high school like that. And even worse, guys, is that most of these popular preppy kids would wear Lululemon to school every single day. Like, they would wear their, like, hottie hot shorts, their expensive leggings, and all this other stuff. And all this other crazy stuff. And then what's even worse is they look way worse than everyone else because where I get my clothes either from Kohl's or I get my clothes from somewhere else. Some of my clothing is a few years old. Heck, I even still have some shorts from like 2018. Like, I have some shorts still from like 2018 that still fit me. And they're Nike brand. Like, bruh, come on, Lululemon? I can't even afford that. I don't think anyone can. Well, oh yes, popular kid discount since it's a popular preppy kid school. Oh, yay. Besides that, even with most of the popular preppy kids at lunch, they would be mean and rude to me. Most of them were popular. And then most of them would come up with lies. Even one of them lied about their name, claiming their name was Ashley when really her name was Shayna. Which, yeah, that girl, she was mean to me. And then, yeah, it was awful. It was awful, guys. It was awful, okay? And then, oh, yes. Yes, yes. Anything else I have to talk about? Oh, yes! Let's talk about, like. Yes! Oh, I know. Let's talk about the speech class. Let's talk about speech class, okay? So, back when I used to go to high school, I would have to been forced to attend a speech class that I didn't really, qualified in, okay? So what happened is that, I was overqualified, which means, I was too qualified to be in a speech class that I didn't even want to be in. And then I was forced to be in there because, let's say, I don't know, the school or somebody, or I don't know, think I had problems with my speech skills and my problem talking. But the thing is, why are you gonna put me in speech class? Because of me when I have problems talking and stuff. I don't even have any problems talking. Like, they thought I had some speech issues or something. Because back when I was in high school, they usually would put me in a speech class because they thought I had speech issues or something. But really, I don't. Like, bruh, like they were discriminating me. Like, crazy, am I right? Like, they were discriminating me and they were hurting my feelings. And what's even worse is that, Oh my god, the speech teacher back when I used to had in high school, she was old. Like she was old. You want to know how old she was, guys? She was so old. Like she was way above retirement age, okay? The speech teacher I used to had was 83 years old, okay? 83 years old, and she is turning 84 next year, okay? And then this woman that was my speech teacher had white hair, and she looked so old that she needed to be in a retirement home or she needed to be at home. Even worse than that, the speech teacher I used to have back in high school, she was so corrupted. She was so corrupted, like she didn't even knew what was going on. You know, I think she was like, I don't know, someone from like the silent generation or their early baby boomers. I don't even know. But I mean, all I know is that that woman was 83 years old. And even crazier, she had a dog named Zoe the dog, which Zoe the dog, I mean, yeah, even Zoe the dog was cool. I mean, Zoe was, a black dog. Zoe the dog, she's cool. Everyone likes Zoe the dog. I mean, Zoe was cool. I mean, hey, Zoe was literally the old high school's good thing about fun, okay? At least Zoe the dog was at least better than most of the popular preppy kids. So at least, hey, that's at least something to say. Am I right? Anyways, besides that, how long have I been filming this video for? Okay, 21 minutes and 50 seconds. Alright. Anyways, I'm probably going to end the video here and probably begin another segment of it because I've been recording this segment for like 22 minutes now. And anyways, I'm probably going to talk more about it, in the next segment of my video. So yeah. And then besides talking about, speech teachers and stuff, I'll explain more in the next segment. So yeah. Hey guys, on to the next segment of the rant. And since, my speech teacher was awful, and since, she kind of tormented me, and kind of, discriminated me and stuff, and since she thought that speech issues when really I didn't, and since for the useless speech class it didn't really help me at all, well, this is for my speech teacher, and this is my reaction. This is my reaction of how I thought of her class, okay? Just to let you know, I'm not really saying this directly to the teachers. Just to let you know, I'm not saying this directly to the teachers, but all I'm just saying is just my opinion. So yeah, anyways, here's my reaction of how I feel about my old speech class. So yeah.
Oh, no, no, no.
Well, yeah. Crazy, right? That is what, my old speech teacher would get because, yeah, even though you kind of tortured me, with the useless speech class, that didn't even help me. I was like, oh, hell no. That didn't even help me one bit. Anyways, what else shall we talk about in this good rant episode of school today? Let's see. Trying to think. Okay. We already talked about the popular kids in lunchtime. This useless speech class. I mean, all the popular kids, all the crazy stuff. Oh, yes! Another thing I want to talk about is, it's kind of related to speech, but let's talk about Zoe the dog, okay? Zoe the dog had to be one of my favorite parts about my old high school before I graduated. At least, she was better than most of the popular kids there. As I said, I go to a popular kids high school, or used to until I graduated this year. But, Zoe the dog actually made it helpful. Like, it's kind of cool because, if you do commands with Zoe the dog, she would actually listen and she would actually, listen to what you say, because if you tell her to stand up, she'll sit. And if you tell her to sit, she sits down. And then, with Zoe the dog, I kind of like wanted to have fun with Zoe. But here is the problem, okay? I'm going to rant a little bit on my Spanish class, or used to be in my Spanish class, okay? Here, here we go. My Spanish teacher, yes, she was a good teacher, okay? This is not about the Spanish teacher, okay? My Spanish teacher that I used to have was a really good Spanish teacher. I could say she was good 8 out of 10. She was helpful, and she at least knew what she was doing. Good Spanish teacher. But let's talk about some of the students, okay? Some of the students would have caused trouble in my old Spanish class. And what's even crazier is that since, these popular kids like to cause trouble, let's say there were a group of 3 boys, okay? 3 or 4 boys, okay? And they would all cause trouble. Like, they would cause trouble in there every single day, Monday through Friday, because it would act so annoying. And then basically, I don't know. It's not really that good. And then they would annoy the heck out of me, which is awful and not good. And yeah, they would make my day awful. Kind of sad and awful, am I right? But it's even worse because, there were 2 girls in there. 2 popular girls, okay? One was, a goth looking girl. Like, one was like a goth looking girl. And then the other one was, I don't know how to describe her, but let's say, she kind of looked like she was from the streets. Like, she kind of looked like she was from, that area, okay? I'm not gonna say the word because, I don't want to really offend anyone, okay? To put it into friendly PG words, or to put it into friendly parental guidance PG rated G words, let's say she was a city girl, okay? So she looked like she was from the city. She looked like she had to have been from the Bronx, or let's say she looked like she had to have been from the Bronx, New York, or Philadelphia, okay? But the thing is, with this girl, let's say she brought in Zoe the dog one day, and let's say things got crazy with the class, okay? Because it was her and the golf girl, okay? I wanted to have fun with Zoe the dog and play with Zoe the dog, but since the golf girl was like, no, Nick, which, or actually, I meant to say, back in school, I mean, yeah, my nickname was Nick back in school. Like, I'm just going by from what they actually said. Like, I'm going back from, like, what they actually said. So back in school, my nickname to some people back in school was Nick. Like, Nick was my nickname back in school. I mean, my real name's Sunoco Guy Fan 91, but back in school, people would, call me Nick because, it was a school nickname thing. And they were like, you can't play with Zoe the dog. And I was like, you can't play with Zoe the dog? Like, bruh, come on. And then they brought Zoe the dog in, and I wasn't even allowed to play with Zoe the dog. You want to know why? Give me a second. Okay, I had to take a breath for a second. I wasn't even allowed to play with Zoe the dog because, oh yeah, I guess I wasn't allowed to because, I wasn't popular. I wasn't a popular kid, and Zoe the dog was only brought in just for the city-looking girl, just to have fun with, and the goth girl. Okay, which basically it was crazy. And then the other popular kids got to have fun with Zoe the dog, but I didn't. Like, come the heck on! Like, really? Like, really? I didn't get to have fun with Zoe the dog because I'm not popular in high school, okay? I was an outcast, and all the other popular kids got to play with Zoe the dog. But I didn't. Like, come the heck on. Like, I wasn't even popular, okay? I was literally an outcast to everyone at my old high school, and I mean, yeah, nobody at my old high school really liked me, and I don't know. It was weird, okay? Then everyone got to play with Zoe the dog, and I kind of want to have my fun with Zoe the dog too. Like, I wanted to teach Zoe the dog tricks. I wanted to tell Zoe the dog to run. Heck, even with Zoe the dog, if I could still have a chance to, see Zoe the dog, I could have like given Zoe the dog like a talent show, okay? Like there could have been a dog talent show, okay? You know, where we'll have the dogs dress up in like, tutus, okay? Have like a dog talent show where, the dogs dress up in tutus and the dogs can spin around like they're wearing tutus and stuff, kind of like it's like a dog contest show or a dog talent show where the dogs wear tutus and stuff, which yeah, just crazy, am I right? Like crazy. But guess what? That never even happened. Sucks to suck. That's sad. But yeah. Besides, the whole thing, it's even worse because, yeah, I never got to play with Zoe the dog, and since after I graduated, that just was sad. And how long have I been recording for? Been recording for 8 minutes plus the 22, so 22 plus 8 is 1, 2. I've been recording this rant for like 30 minutes now. But yeah. Basically, yeah. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about Zoe the dog. So anything else I gotta say? Like anything else I gotta say? I guess about Zoe the dog, I guess that's really all I have to say about, good old Zoe. Zoe the dog, Zoe the woofster, Zoe the pupster. That's all I gotta say about Zoe. Anything else I gotta say about, my old popular kid high school? Anything else? I don't know. I guess there's really nothing else to say. Because I guess I really went through everything about my old popular kid high school. About my other years in high school, I mean, I think my other years were better than 12th grade because at least the people before my senior year were actually better because at least the people before my senior year were better, they were slightly older. And as you know, as the old classes get replaced with the new, younger classes, you can definitely tell that things are going to become crap. So I guess ninth grade, I can't really remember. I mean, ninth grade was a heck of a time. I mean, that would be a topic for another video. Like, that would be a topic for another video, but not today. And then 10th grade was just remote because of the whole COVID-19 situation and stuff. And then 11th grade, I mean, completely back in person, but I had to wear face masks and stuff because of COVID restrictions and stuff. And then, yeah, senior year had no restrictions at all. And yeah, that's all I remember. Anyways, I think that covered everything. But so, yeah. Anyways, stay tuned for another rant video that's going to be kind of similar to this one. But the second rant is going to be about School Spirit Week. Another rant I'm going to be creating is about School Spirit Week or Spirit Week. Because, oh ho ho! That I would love to cover the topic on another Sunoco Guy Fan 91 video. Like, I would love to make a rant about School Spirit Week because, oh ho ho, back in my old popular kid high school, it was a circus show. Like, anyways, I'm going to save that for the next rant. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. Make sure to like and subscribe to Sunoco Guy Fan 91 if you enjoyed the video. And well, I hope you enjoyed this rant. Anyways, Sunoco Guy Fan is heading out now, so yeah. Bye guys, I hope you enjoyed this video.